are some interesting, what a bot could be and what are some interesting ones from the past. And then we've already like looked a little bit in terms of visualizing a character and a background, their movement, and then also looking at the sort of how they appear visually. And today we look a little bit more into creating a backstory and visualizing a small, simple conversation, which will help GPT-3 fine-tune to sound more like the character that you would like to develop, rather than some general random Q&As from GPT-3, which it can do quite well. So this process is called fine-tuning, but we'll get into it as well. And then, of course, we bring it all together in one space with our Videobot app. Of course, this is all just kind of a background, how we did it, the first image generation, making it move, making your background, and then like compositing it together. Runway ML here, but like whatever else you may use as artists is quite okay. Image generator you are now, I think, familiar with. I think I saw quite a few of you had done a good number of runs on that day. And these 2-3 slides are just for you to like recall if there's any kind of specific ideas about the data set you'd like to know, and how all of this comes together. I can maybe after the workshop, like after we're done with the main content, I can even dive into it a little bit. We did a bit of animation, of course, so that's already sorted, and then some resources for like building prompts and figuring how it all works out, specifically with stable diffusion. I think if there's a, like DALL-E has its own format of prompting, Midjourney has its own, and then stable diffusion and its variants have their own. And then some more tools around that, I can discuss it later. So today we are looking at the Videobot builder, which allows you to put in a face, put in a script, and ask a question. And with the magic of our workflows, which includes lip syncing and GPT-3, it'll create a interesting response, and then it'll lip sync it to the avatar's face and give you an answer. Our hope is that the ones that get selected for BF will then be actual like chatbots, which are more interactive. Okay, Babu. And over the course of the coming weeks, we're also like trying to ship it out in a way that even if it's not part of BF and you are doing something specific, which is around video bots, you're easily able to use all our tools and like it's kind of ready to build. Of course, this is just the space we left for anyone who wants to add their wonderful and interesting prompts. So now we will look at the Videobot, which is this link. I'll just put it in the chat. So this should open out to the BF bot fully, which now you're aware how we built the face. What we haven't yet seen is how we built the script. So the UI has changed a bit. So in the settings, you will see that there's an example conversation, a place to input the face, a set of voice settings that, you know, how it should sound, you know, British, Indian, American, how fast, how slow, and some optimizations for GPT-3 so that we can get like responses the way we want them to, and a couple of settings for if the lip sync is a bit off, then you can kind of fix it with this. So this is primarily what we'll be doing. We'll be building a little bio for the person and then doing a Q&A between any user and the bot. Like this one, okay, I'm just like also keeping an eye on the time. So the brief structure for this is that I said that, okay, this is an AI bot called Eurydica. That's just a name I gave it. And I've given them some kind of a backstory that, okay, they are from a future generation of humans and they can kind of live with water, within the water and on land, and they can talk to dolphins. And Earth's been through a great turmoil and, you know, the air is polluted, but they are sort of really champions of the future, and they feel like, okay, they can protect the planet and there's hope. Now, this is just the story I built. Your story could be totally different. It could be that, oh, they have no hope and, you know, they're totally lost. They could be, you know, sitting in space. They could be sitting on Earth or in a raft or whatever. They may be not in the physical space at all. So then we do a basic set of Q&A, which is like, okay, who are you? Where do you live? What are you? Why are you a hero? So now the first three questions are a bit more obvious, but then you can kind of build it, because you may have a sense that, okay, how are people going to interact with this particular bot that we are building? Of course, this is a BF bot, so we have questions. We have some Q&A around climate change. Then they have that glossary. So I've just picked up from there what is algorithmic prejudice, what is Mondays for machine, and then we've added those. So what happens is that if the question is not directly from the Q&A, like here, like what is the Anthropocene, it will generate an answer on its own from GPT-3. But if the question is very specific, like what is your name, it will generate the answer from the script. So this is now pretty much the same as the script. So before we like dive deeper, I'm gonna just ask Swati to give us a bit, because she's been building a lot of bots for Dara as well. So she's sort of really very, very well aware of like what are the tips and tricks that work really well to get the bot working in the way that you like. So I'm just gonna stop sharing and she will talk to us a little bit. Is that the right time, Swati?
Yeah. So I think Ambika has explained the structure of the script quite well. The tips that I can give you is in the introductory paragraph is the space to actually define the characteristics of the bot using whatever adjectives you think are appropriate. It also affects how the bot responds. So you can say that, okay, he is funny or he's sarcastic or she is very polite. So those are things to specify. Otherwise, it's also a great place to kind of specify its beliefs and intentions, wherein you can say, my bot is very passionate about tech art or is passionate about films, you know, so you can specify all those leanings. What do you want it to really talk about? And as Ambika also pointed out that you specify its intention. Change that we will find a solution and will become better, or you could say that he's quite hopeless, he talks negatively, he's down in the dumps and has a negative outlook on life. So that does affect how it responds. Then in the sample conversation, there is really no structure you need to follow except for the fact that, okay, the user and then the bot is answering something. Like it doesn't need to be a story, a coherent story that, okay, who are you, where do you live, what do you want, and all of that. You can choose to do it like that, or you can just straight away get to the point and say, what do you think about regional cinema, whatever bot you're trying to build and whatever their interests are, you can just get down to it. And even one question to the other doesn't have to be a coherent script. It can be totally disconnected, but it should just be something that lends detail and character to your bot. So that's definitely something you should keep in mind. The other thing that I would specify is if it's a very well-known theme or a topic which is very well documented on the internet, I feel like even a very brief script works well. Like things like climate change and artificial intelligence, there's so much data on it. Like Ambika pointed out, through GPT-3, your bot will still respond well, even if you've not given it a very detailed script. But if you're giving your bots a very niche interests, which you feel are not that well documented or hard to find, then it's better to that you give those details in your script. Like one thing is my bot is passionate about, for example, cinema, you know, or films or Hollywood or whatever it is. But if you say, oh, he's very passionate about regional Northeast Indian cinema, you know, Assamese films. So you know that that's too niche, then you better give it some context within the script. And the more information you provide about a certain niche topic or a leaning or a belief, the better it'll be able to speak. And I mean, rest assured that the bot will still respond no matter what you ask, but the detail, the amount of detail it provides depends on the script. So I think those are my basic tricks and tips which I've picked up working on these bots. And I will let Ambika continue now.
Okay, thanks, Swati. Do you want to show one of your bots just for fun?
Yeah, sure. So just to give you an example, wait, let me open up the page and share my screen. So like I was saying, like recently we built a Harry Potter bot, which is for some fandom website, which they wanted to see like, okay, if you want to create these bots out of these famous characters, what would that be like? So as you can imagine now, Harry Potter is all over the place, right? Like the information is available everywhere. Everybody knows what it is well documented. So, okay, let me share my screen. So if you go to the examples on our bot page, you will be able to see a bunch of the bots that we have built for various companies or various people. So as you can see, the Harry Potter bot, we've gone with like a more of an anime look. And if you go to tweak and you read its settings, this basically picked up from the wiki page of harrypotter.fandom.com. So if I go to settings, it just has some basic information. As you see, the script is not very long. It's stuff from the story. Who is Harry Potter? Where did he grow up? Who are the parents? But also another helpful thing is that you can also specify a particular web page where if you feel that it's got a lot of information on a particular topic, you can say that, okay, he's knowledgeable about all the information on so-and-so web page. So that does seem to help. But because it's such a well-documented subject, I didn't have to write like a big script, and he answers really well. You can ask him anything about the Harry Potter universe and he's able to answer very succinctly everything. Whereas if you were building, say, if you look at some of the other examples, like there is a bot we built for a company, which is like, say, this is called IoT Ready, which is a company. So we built a bot around it. It was very specific. They manage warehouses and they help you be more efficient with your resources and time. So in that case, we have to be very specific. This is not information which is just out there. So you have to provide everything. We go through the FAQ section. We go through the website, the founders. You have to give all the details that you wanted to have. Otherwise, the bot is going to make stuff up. And in this case, we really need it to be factual. So just to give you an idea, yeah, these are a couple of different bots that we've done. And I think the one last thing that comes to mind is also that, yeah, the website bit is usually helpful. And also, if you have a character and you want to give it a story, but you feel like you're not able to come up, like you're not that creative to come up with a whole story around it, that you can base it on somebody. Or you could even say that, like, say he really likes, like, he quotes Charles Dickens all the time, or like whoever is his favorite author, or you read some author's interview or some personality's interview and you feel like some answer resonates with you, you can incorporate that into the script. So that's about it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think this last one was, I think, a really nice tip that I have also used once in a while, that to just kind of find something existing and be able to like plant it within the script. So I'll just set you guys off for the afternoon today, evening, depending on where you are, and morning. And then we can just kind of build it from there. So today I was just kind of found that there was this person who had posted something about this wiki called the mother of all demos. So this is supposed to be like a landmark computer demo, like a demonstration in the 60s, and it had all the things that we use today in computers, like little windows and graphics and like even collaborative editing, which I think came much later to other computers. So I decided, because I'm obsessed with this idea of mothers, so I decided I'll make a bot called the mother of all demos. So it's like a simple fictional story. I just said, okay, this is who they were, what they're interested in. They are not interested in white male discourses. They are close friends with Donna Haraway. They want to build feminist knowledge. And then I did the Q&A. Of course, this again you can do, as Swati mentioned, in whichever way you feel best. So my simple urge to you to build it this way is to just keep a little bit of a background note, and if you can do it on a doc, it'll be really great. to share that process with others as well. Build the bio and the conversation. And then maybe we'll give ourselves, I don't know, 20-30 minutes to do this, and we can keep helping you as and when you want. If you're faster, that's great. And then we can just put it in our generator, and then try to run it with, say, an image, or if you were fast enough to finish the video in the last bit, to put in that MP4 video here. So I'll kind of time it. So maybe till about 6-ish our time, India time, about half an hour. You have to build it, and then we can just do a little bit of tweaking. If you have some questions, if you want to know, hey, Ambika, how do we do this? Hey, Swati, what's happening here? Can you help the bot out a little bit? Then we'll have about 30 minutes to kind of tweak that out. And at some point towards the end, BF team will give us a brief about what they need for their final submission. So for the moment now, you can just start off and let us know if we can help you in any way. So it's just 4 people today. So maybe we can just all do it on one doc if that's okay with the others. Is that fine with anyone? And I'll just build that doc out. So I'm just giving each of you a page, and then you can just build it there.
Sorry, what's the difference between background and bio?
Background is just to like let us know what you were thinking when you built it. It's also not compulsory, but I just felt it would be nice to know your process. So this will be a process where you'll end up tweaking it more once you start seeing the answers. So the first script need not be perfect, just for you to start off with.
Do you guys have any suggestions for conversation?
Sorry?
Do you have any suggestions for conversation prompts?
Okay, let me just check your document.
I copied the ones you had.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, I think once you do it a couple of times and then you're like, okay, let me see what it'll give an answer for this, then you might change it out a little bit more. So,
okay, so I should run it and then.
Yeah, I think this is okay. Then you'll know, okay, I'd like it to talk a bit more about this or that. And,
okay, cool.
Yeah. Swati, any opinion on it? I'll just share the doc so you can see it.
I was just trying to look in the doc window.
Looks good, no, for the first test, I think.
Yeah, I think you're off to a good start, Sophia. And yeah, just maybe build upon it. As I said, like the questions need not have like a logical flow. Whatever you think would help define the character. But I think this is a great place to start and just keep like adding more detail to it. It could be something like, what are you passionate about? What do you love? What do you hate? Just, it could be something as vague as that, but then just add more depth to the character.
Also, I see that you can upload an image instead of a movie. I was never able to get a good movie. It keeps mistaking the bottom of the mouth
Yeah.
from image for teeth. So it like never mapped the mouth correctly. So I'm gonna try with just the JPEG and see.
Yeah, we can figure that and then tweak it a bit more as you feel best.
Hi, sorry. Can I ask a question? So if we kind of wrote a bit, can we just go through and test it out?
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
If you're all of you feeling comfortable, I can just run you through it once and then you guys can get back. What do you guys feel? Anup, Swasni, you're the only two.
Yeah, sounds good.
I have a very angry young person behind me. Yeah, so you can add the script in here. I had kind of added those little markers for background and conversation and bio. You can remove that word bio and word conversation and just plonk. I think when you open it, it'll be the video bot should look like this. With the settings closed. So you just open out the settings and plonk your text here. So say, maybe Tajinder, if you're comfortable, I'll use yours just to showcase it.
Yeah, that's fine. It's not finished. It's just I wanted to see.
That's totally fine. Just to show everyone. Right. So, and then Swati, do you think that the number of lines and enter and all make a difference? No, right?
I don't think so.
Right. Okay, so this is Tajinder's write-up. And then Tajinder, is there a question you'd like to ask the bot?
No, not particularly. Could you ask one?
Okay.
Oh, I just ran mine and the recognition on the mouth is much better in the example than it was in the my heritage and all that. So
okay, great.
That's useful for other people if you haven't been able to make a good video. It just worked from a JPEG.
I'm going to use the second image if that's okay, Tajinder.
Yeah, that's fine.
Sometimes beards can be a problem. Just warning you.
Okay. So I'm just adding the image that he's given us. Now, the things that we haven't yet run through. Oh, wait, am I on the wrong? Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Here. So what we haven't checked yet in the settings is that you can change around the voice. So of course, we may need a male voice for this. So there are two services we are using, which one is UberDuck and one is Google Cloud text-to-speech. So I'll just run you through Google Cloud text-to-speech. There's a little link here, and you can test the voice that you'd like to use. So say maybe we want a UK voice of a male, and then
with cloud machine learning, your application interprets images, texts, and more.
Okay. So you can see that there are a couple of voices here that sound
with cloud machine learning, your application interprets images, texts, and more.
So I'm going to use this one. So I just need to copy 1, 2, 3, fourth column. You see it says EN, English, Great Britain, neural to B. So that's voice B, developed in a model called Neural. There is a model called WaveNet. They all sound a little bit different. There's a one specifically for news. So I'll use that one and paste it into the voice name here. Maybe I wanted to sound a bit deeper, and I want them to talk super slowly. I don't know, for whatever reason. And then I can do a number of outputs. I can look at the quality, and then this bit is also interesting called model creativity, is how outside the box you want the model, how random you want the answers to be. So we've kind of kept it at a standard 0.4, but you can play around with it as you feel best. And I will hit submit. I think I've got everything on. Yeah, there's a new question as well.
Yes. There is a relationship between AI and singing. AI can be used to create and analyze music, and it can also be used to generate new musical compositions. AI can also be used to help people learn to sing better by analyzing their voice and providing feedback. AI can also be used to create virtual singers that can be used in live performances.
Intense.
Wow.
I like it.
And so we can just tweak everything and it will, like, we can change the top bit where it's got the bio, give different characteristics. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, and as Swati mentioned, like, say AI is sort of a larger topic that's there in their corpus because it's like everyone speaks about it on forums and this, that. So, I mean, then if you want something really interesting, then your question maybe needs to be like a lot more specific, like, say, like Tajinder's written about spirituality and climate crisis and things like that. So then if you maybe frame the question in a particular way, it'll answer specifically
sure.
in that way.
Okay, for sure.
So yeah, I think it's interesting. And then because it's just a static image, you can really, like, it feels a bit like, okay, what's happening? But with the video, then it can sometimes be a little more, I don't know, realistic, I guess. But then again, like,
Sure.
Sophia has been having issues with that.
I'll try the video, but sorry, but yeah, he's got a beard, so it might look a bit strange. But I'll run it through and see what happens.
Yeah. And I think since you mentioned you use animation and stuff, so you don't need to use those apps that we mentioned in the last. I mean, if you want to rig it yourself, that's totally on you as well.
So I could do because I've got some characters. If I put some slight movement on them in a loop, could I then import the movie?
Oh yes, absolutely.
Oh wow, okay.
Oh, absolutely, and MP4 and MOV.
Yeah. Oh really? Okay. Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's really interesting.
So it could be you even. I mean, there's no sort of restriction that it should be an AI character.
Okay. Awesome. All right, I'm gonna have a quick play.
So as you're testing them out, you'll be able to also instruct them in a very specific way. Like if you want, like say you ask them a specific question and they don't really respond the way you thought. I mean, I'll just give you a very anecdotal example. Like I had created a bot and I asked a question, something to do with billionaires. What do you think about it? And it was very supportive of billionaires and like, yeah, they're cool people, like them. And somehow I did not agree. And like, I mean, that's just my personal thought. I don't think they're cool people. So I was like kind of mad that, okay, why is it saying that? So I actually went in, I did not specifically say that the bot should not like billionaires. I said that this bot believes in equality and social justice. And just adding that line to the description. And when I asked that question again, the viewpoint was completely different. Wow. So they do understand context, like just subtle context in the description as well. And you can kind of give them a negative instruction. You can very clearly say also that they just hate billionaires and they always answer negatively. But even some subtle context will be recognized.
Thing is, I was playing with GPT-3 as part of our project. And so we wanted a scientist who kind of gave, who was very aloof and very assured of himself. The GPT kept coming back with, sorry, we cannot present scientists in this way. So will this, if something like that happens here, would that be the text that comes back? Or
was that in Chat GPT or was
that was in Chat GPT. So would anything like that ever come through here?
I don't think we've really tried that, but I feel like Chat GPT is a little bit like they've been tweaking it a lot more.
Sure.
So perhaps we have a little leeway in GPT-3 still.
Okay.
If I could jump in to answer that question, actually, as far as I know, ChatGPT is designed to create a dialogue, whereas GUI is different in the sense that you're creating your own script. So ChatGPT ensures that you're creating a dialogue with it. And in that sense, it's like, okay, these views are not mine, or because even I tried doing something with it and it gave an output and then immediately gave me a caveat saying, please be assured that these views are not of the AI bots. So it's more conversational when compared to GUI, I think.
Okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
So Swati, when you said like no description, so you mean like no description of the background, or like which description?
No, just the write-up that you begin, like the paragraph introducing the bot.
Means the background of the bot?
Yeah,
the bio,
I guess
bio.
Correct. What Ambika had written as the bio, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So in the bio, you can specify all of these things.
This one, the main bio that you have. Or in your case, it is.
Yeah, you can specify it in the bio, or you can even add in a question answering a specific viewpoint you wanted to have. Like you can have the user asking a particular question and it's answering in a particular way about it. So it gets the context either way.
Ambika,
Yeah. To clarify, when I said background, I was just like hoping to know like what was your intention behind building a bot, and the bio is the bot's bio specifically. Maybe I should have used another word.
Okay.
Sorry, can I just ask a quick question? Whenever I'm running it, I keep getting this error which says invalid argument dash 400 request contains an invalid argument. Where
would you be comfortable to share your screen or
yeah,
a screenshot?
Sure. Oh, it's taken me into all these settings. Shall I just take a screenshot?
Yeah, sure. No problem.
Hey, so I've dropped in a Google Sheet in the comments meanwhile. Please drop in your work in progress links over there so that we can archive it for ourselves and also for you.
That's the that's the error. I've just put it in the chat.
In case there's any like support queries or any help that you need, any error screens that you encounter, you can always like reach out to us on Discord. So one of us will definitely like reach out and solve the issue.
So you got this error while uploading the photo, right?
It's just I've put the photo in and put the script in, the question, and then got the voice and everything. And yeah, it just I've noticed one. Sorry.
Was it after you hit submit or before?
It's after when I submit it now. It just it starts running GPT-3.
Okay.
it comes up with a response and then it says invalid argument. Submit. Would it be from the video?
Yeah. Do you think you can share the video here on the,
for sure.
chat, and then maybe we can check it out?
Yeah, just one second.
Maybe it's a lips thing, Swati. Like maybe it's not recognizing the
It
face.
could be sometimes, yeah, it doesn't recognize the face sometimes.
Just one second.
Shall I share it in the bugs group? Maybe someone can answer there.
I have asked Dev and Mitesh, so maybe they'll get back to us. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, I've put it in the chat.
This should be okay, but let me also check it.
That's me, party.
Thank you.
One. Take it outside. And make one for me also.
Sorry.
How do you give negative prompts in this thing? Or like things that we don't want
Ambika, sorry, Dave is saying that it might be a incorrect voice name. So maybe there's an error in the voice name entry.
Right.
Okay, I'll try. I'll try and see if I check that.
Sorry to interrupt you.
This I think he means this name here. So you have to copy it exactly from that list. And maybe
Okay,
there's a, like in the copying, if there's a space or something, that could be the reason.
I think I might have missed the E.
Yeah.
Could be that. Just trying to find another one.
Sorry, Sophia, what was your question?
Oh, no problem. How do I put negative prompts? Is that the word? Like if I don't want the bot to say something, because she's talking about small businesses. I'm like, I don't want to talk about that.
Swati, you want to take that on?
Yeah, usually you can just specify if you don't want it to very specifically speak about certain issues, then you can just say that it does not like to talk about XYZ.
Okay.
Or you can give it a particular viewpoint that it has negative views about XYZ or something like that. That usually works.
Cool.
So Asni, there is a copy URL button here. So you can just copy all of them in your section. And the one that you love the most, you can add it here.
Thank you. That works now. Yeah, I missed off one of the characters, so thank you.
Because Vasni has a question in the chat.
Oh, I thought I answered it. Was I not audible?
Yeah,
Sorry.
got it. Thank you.
Okay.
So that copy URL, what exactly does it copy?
You're basically that particular when you hit submit and that like run.
Okay.
That run gets saved as a URL because you don't yet have a dashboard.
Okay.
So we can just copy that. How is it looking? Does anybody want to share some interesting answers?
I've put a work in progress on the sheet, but I'm going to carry on working on it.
That's all right, Tajinder. You can add multiple links on it, just like put a comma or like a number.
Okay. So if I change it now, will it give me a different link, or will it just be that page which is updated?
It'll be a different link, Namika.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just finding the unmute button. Yeah, it'll be a different link every time. So just save the ones that you like. Sometimes it's okay to also save the ones you don't like. I think as a practice, I just save all of them.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I think the copy link button can be looked at, as different milestones in a video game where you save your progress and then you still continue playing, right? So kind of look at it that way. So anything that you do beyond that one point, it'll be a different link if you want to save it again.
Super.
Okay.
I think maybe this is a good point, Maitri, to just tell us of BF's expectations in terms of content and timeline, so that it's kind of clear, and then if people want to hang out, they can. If they want to leave, they can.
Okay, just give me a second. So I'll be in a good background.
Sorry, it's okay. You're joining from somewhere else. No, that doesn't matter. You can just talk without video also, no problem.
Hi. So just so you didn't talk, didn't feel like you were like conversing into the void, I thought I'd put my video on. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined us today. I mean, I myself was quite late, but I'm so glad that the four of you showed up. It means a lot to us, despite, the change in timings and the extension of the workshop to 2 hours. So in terms of the expectations that we have from BeFantastic, well, I've seen some of your prompt responses on the worksheet that I sent, and I was quite excited by those, actually. I remember the one, I think the Firebird is Sophia's, right? Yeah, I'm already, from what I've seen so far and what you guys have given us access to, I'm quite excited, and I think you guys are doing really well in terms of the expectations that we have. We don't have any strict constraints. All we want is a bot that kind of merges into the intersection between art, tech, and climate change. Because we, as we've advertised time and again on our emails, we have a festival coming up called BeFantastic, which is India's first AI art festival that's exclusively engaging with the topic of climate change. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen this, but we've been running a series on Instagram. Let me quickly pull up Instagram to give you a better idea. Computational Mama's Eurydica was part of it. She was they were our first champion bot that went up. I think if I show you what we're looking at, it'll be easier. So initially what we wanted to do was that we wanted to kind of create a series where every Monday, and we called it Mondays for the Machine, and every Monday we wanted an AI bot to demystify AI jargon. We wanted AI to speak for itself in some sense. But in AI speaking for itself, we also wanted to reveal the workings of it, which is that ultimately AI is scripted by us, the data set is given by us, it's still a reflection of our world and our worldview. So we thought it would be an interesting way to kind of bring down and really simplify the technological jargon that is being thrown around so easily these days. By doing that, it will be a fun and quirky way. And the workshop was, it became a random sort of thought that became the workshop, that we were like, oh, we want people to participate. We want people to use Gooey and its easy workflow to sort of come up with these bots. But beyond that, beyond the social media element, we also want these bots to kind of walk our participants through the
the artworks at the venues. So we have 2 venues right now. And in both venues, we want to find a sort of way to amalgamate the real world with the digital world and have the bots that you guys are making champion that sort of idea. Like, we are trying to go for a digitally handmade kind of a vibe. And in saying digitally handmade, like, it could be like there's a concept note. Somebody may be, let's say, off the top of my head, neurodivergent, and they can't read it, or they find it difficult to read. There'd be a QR code. They can scan the QR code, and one of your bots can pop up and talk about it. So in that sense, in terms of an expectation, we want your creativity to run wild. We want your imagination to go as high, low, and whatever freely as possible. But the only thing that we do ask of you is that you find the niche between art, tech, and climate. We don't want to tell you what that niche is. We want the ideas to come from you, because that is also the part of the point of the festival. In the festival, we're not trying to convince people, we're trying to have a discourse. We're trying to get multiple perspectives in one place. So the bots that you're making, as long as they're within that sort of intersection, I think we would be very happy to see what you come up with. I'm going to share my screen to show you the Mondays to the Machine thing, just so you get, again, a better idea. It doesn't need to be like this. Like, it honestly doesn't need to be exactly like this at all. So this is Eurydica. Eurydica very recently spoke about what object recognition was. And the fun thing about this is that once you script your bot properly, I'm sure Swati and Ambika might have already told you today earlier that once you script your bot, GPT-3 just takes it up and kind of, answers it on its own. But the fun thing that I found about it is that if you're very specific about the tonality and the kind of words that you're using to answer these questions, then GPT-3 picks up on that tone. And for Eurydica, we've used very specific tonality in the way that they answer these questions that we give them. And that's why their personality, their background, all of these things are important. We also had another bot that we internally created using Gooey from our BeFantastic team. And this bot's name was Aku. And the idea behind Aku was that, Aku is from a future where it's a techno-positive future where humans have evolved to have their organs and outside their body and have flowers and plants grow from within. And Aku's like this leader, this warrior princess who comes back to kind of tell us how to work together with technology, art, and climate. So these are just a couple of the ideas, but I do understand that both the examples that I've shown you are quite similar to one another. I mean, the story that we have for Eurydica and the sort of background that we've given for Aku are also very similar, which is where you guys step in, because you guys will have a completely different perspective from what we are presenting. We are very streamlined in our thought right now because we've been working on the festival for months together now. So we really want to see what people who are interested in this intersection want to come up with, especially through the form of like these bots that you're creating with Gooey. I gave a very long speech, but I hope my point came through. If you have any questions about the submission, if you have any questions about, anything else, just shoot me an email and I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you, Swada, for recapping it. Thank you so much. And also, if you don't want, if even after listening to all of this, you don't want to be a part of this intersection and this niche, then that's absolutely fine. The workshop is intended for you all to learn how to use AI bots, how to use Gooey, and how to just have fun with these things and basically keep up with the new tech. So if at the end of the day you feel like, no, this is not my vibe, that's also absolutely fine. So yeah, I'm going to go back to turning off my video now.
Right, cool. Thanks for that. I'm just going to give some more tips on the AI image bit if you need some, because the scripting is very much you have to like test it and figure out. And there is a limit on the credits that GUI gives, but if you feel stuck in the middle, please connect with us and we can like hook you up. Babu, can I just finish talking, please? So I'll just quickly share with you the screen and show you some bits of the links that are in the slide deck that may be useful for you to look into for the visuals. This is basically the entire Stable Diffusion dataset, which has 5 billion images in it. So if you really want to know how it's like picking out those images, say of Tejinder, you've specified like a young Sikh man, or like if there is a specific kind of like object or specific kind of thing that's there in the background video that you see, all those images will turn up in this search. So those actual images that were used to build the database. So say if I were to, like usually I always check for mother in all databases. So you can see that all of it is here. So it's just an easy way to know like what is the kind of image that they've used in the database and in the data set, and just kind of tweak it the way you like to. For looking more in terms of how to build your prompts, there are these interesting websites that have like all these prompts from across the world. People have submitted all of their work. So if you like something in terms of the style, say like this ornamental Chinese porcelain thing or whatever, so you can just like pick out those words that they've specifically used for the prompt and then try to use them. Then this allows you to build your prompts based on whatever platform you're using. And then this particularly is very interesting. I found it allows you to like dump your own image, which could be like non-necessarily an AI image, like any regular image, like say a picture of me even. And then it'll give you, thanks Swati, it'll give you some sense of like how you can build that prompt out in Stable Diffusion in 1 and 2 both. So you can test this app as well. Yeah, so that's where this is at. Of course, you can use your own tools, use your own pictures, don't have to stick to AI. You can like draw your own bot, build it in a 3D environment, however you prefer, use your own photograph, collage it, whatever you'd like. Don't feel restricted on that end, because really the AI part is very much the bot itself, like the answer in the way it responds, and the rest of it is just like how we want to use our artistic process and capabilities. So very much on you. All of you are really talented, so you'll find your own ways. It's just how you'd like to merge your workflows with these new tools. It's really just about that. And in terms of the credits, when you've signed up, I mentioned this in the last session as well. If you click on your name, you'll see how many credits are remaining. So usually for everything that you run, it takes about 5 credits. So I mean that's like 200-300 images if you go through the generator, and like similar number of runs for the Videobot as well. So as soon as you feel it's dwindling, please connect with us and we'll quickly like set you guys up, because we know you're from the BF team. And let us know where you feel, okay, that this could have been better, or can you please fix this, or maybe this is a tool that you really need to have. It's missing on GUI. So tell us about that as well, and we'll help you out there. And thank you for your time today, and sorry for changing out the time again. That was totally on me. But connect with us, and if you feel like you need an extra like office hour where you just come in with your doubts, we'll happily set that up. Or you can ping us on GUI's Instagram or my Instagram, and I'll happily help you out as well. No problem.
Yeah, just some closing notes. If you guys want to submit for the BF bot, for the Future Fantastic bot, I hope 1 week's time is good. I'm asking you guys. It depends on how you guys are feeling, because you're the 4 privileged ones that showed up today. So you get to choose the deadline. Is 1 week good? So I can expect you guys to give me your final bots by 8. 6th is Monday, 7th is Tuesday, 8th is a Wednesday. So you get a day extra. So
Sounds good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
amazing.
good.
I'll share the sheet, the Google Sheet again over email with all of you. We will also share the recording of this for those others who have missed the workshop, who want to catch up, and some resources that Ambika is going to share with us. Yeah, that's it from mine. Thank you so much for joining us again. This is, yeah, I'm so happy that, people showed up despite the change in time.
I can hang around for a bit if someone needs to just converse, but if the rest of the team is tired and exhausted, please don't feel like you can't leave. And maybe we can stop the recording if it's not already done.